What is up, my crystal gems? Seth Blizzard here. Now, I've been meaning to make this fan theory video for a while now, but haven't gotten around to it. And now that the show is on hiatus, it seemed like a proper time to make it. Now, um, by putting it off, I kind of screwed myself over because the guys over at Cartoon Hangover released this 107 facts about Steven Universe that you should know. I'll put that in the description below. Yeah, go watch that after you're done with this. Don't leave me just yet. A lot of the stuff that I was gonna say on this video originally got confirmed, which makes me happy in a way, because we don't usually get to see really crazy ideas about a show get confirmed by the writers, but you'll understand why I say crazy ideas in a moment. But yeah, in a way it's great, but at the same time it kind of undermined what I wanted to do here. So, but whatever. First of all, let's dive into a very important topic that is why I was saying that it was crazy that they confirmed this. One of the topics about Steven Universe that I find the most interesting, specifically because I thought that they would never mention anything about it or how it actually worked or went down, is how Steven was conceived. Now, Rose is a crystal gem, Greg is a human, so how the hell did Steven Universe come to be? So, from what we have already seen, gems, when they get when they are defeated and retreat back to their gem form, or get poofed, as Steven recently coined, they have a chance to analyze themselves to improve their physical form so as to become a better version of themselves when they recreate their bodies, because their bodies are just an illusion. Their actual body, their actual selves, is within that gem. We already knew this, and we noticed that they can actually control the way they are reformed. We know this because when Pearl, who was the first one to get poofed, she came back, her dress was slightly different, and when Garnet was fused back together, she came back, her clothes were a different color slightly, her visor was purple, her skin went from being brownish to a little more kind of reddish violet, and of course in the last episode, Amethyst was the best example, and finally proving that the crystal gems actually have full control over their physical forms. They can come back as whatever they want, really. So, now that we know this, well, I thought, well, this kind of explains how maybe Rose got pregnant, and we know that she was pregnant because in the episode where Steven finds the videotape that Rose left behind for him, we see that Rose is at the beach and whatever, having a nice time, and the camera pans down, and you can see that she has a baby belly. She's recording this for Steven, and we see that she's actually pregnant. So we're thinking, how could this happen between a human and a crystal gem? Well, this new confirmation that gems have like full control over their physical forms kind of lets us know that, well, maybe she altered her own anatomy to make it more like that of a female human. And now I thought to myself, here I am, like, having this crazy fan theory, and like, what's the point? It's a kid's show, like, well, kids show, it airs on Cartoon Network, so they're never gonna make an episode where you actually get to see how this all went down, how Rose made her pregnancy happen, how it was possible in the first place. But then they released this 107 facts about Steven Universe video, and Rebecca Sugar basically confirms that Rose altered her anatomy to create a uterus, which made Steven a possibility. Now, this, I don't know about you guys, this just blew my mind. I am like so psyched that they actually confirmed this. I don't have to like wonder anymore. Um, Now, extrapolating from this, although we know that Rose already had her gem on her stomach, exactly where Steven has it. Uh, from that, I'm not saying that it was there to have Steven, because it was already there before Rose even met Greg. But I don't know. In terms of character design, I think that it would make a lot more sense for Rose to have her gem on her stomach, because she was the only crystal gem to have um, human hybrid offspring. We know that a gem's physical form cannot exist if it is removed from the gem. What basically happens is that their physical bodies turn into like this glowing light shape and retreats back into the gem. That's what always happens when they're defeated. So you might be thinking, well, at the moment where Stephen was actually born, like how did that go down? And I don't know. I think about this a lot, but I think that what actually happened is, over the time of Rose's pregnancy, she moved her gem from her stomach to Stephen's stomach through the umbilical cord. And to me, that's why it makes sense that Rose and Stephen would have their gems on their stomach instead of anywhere else, but not really as a plot device, more like a good character design feature. Back to this, at the moment of his birth, I just imagine like Steven being born. Greg is holding Steven, passes it over to Rose. Rose gets to meet Steven for a brief moment, but she has to cut the umbilical cord at some point, and well, yeah, that's when she disappears. Picture that for a moment. Picture Greg crying his freaking eyes out over the fact that he has to cut this umbilical cord, which basically means never seeing his wife ever again. Now, because the gems are so resilient, we have this sort of desensitization to them actually like dying, because basically, well, when Pearl got poofed for the first time, I crapped my pants. I was so terrified, man. But then she just reformed her body, and I was like, well, that wasn't so bad. And yeah, but in this case, we have it's sort of more serious, because Rose basically fused herself permanently with a human so that Stephen could live. Now, what I think is that the gem that Stephen has on his stomach is the actual same exact gem that Rose had on her stomach. So what I'm thinking is that all of Rose's conscience, all her being, is actually within Stephen. They are one and the same person, just that when fused with the human DNA, it created this new person, this new personality that is Stephen, that has taken over the powers and over the gem. Will this mean that at some point in the future we'll see Rose manifest in some way? We'll see, like, maybe she'll speak through Stephen? I don't know. Maybe. I'm kind of hoping for that. But yeah, like, I think that's probably the most mind-blowing fact that was confirmed in the cartoon Hangover video. We see the pattern that with Lapis Lazuli, with Peridot, with Jasper, they all have diamonds on their outfits. And now that we know that they have to report to this yellow diamond, which we don't know anything about, it's just some other gem that we are gonna face at some point, because she seems to be an even bigger antagonist than Jasper and Peridot combined. Because when Jasper mentions reporting to Yellow Diamond, we can see that Lapis Lazuli is crapping her pants. She's scared as fuck about having to meet up with Yellow Diamond. Now, what does this mean? Well, basically means that Yellow Diamond might be stronger than all of the gems we know to this point combined. The showdown with Lapis Lazuli was only ended because Steven used talk no jutsu on that girl. He basically convinced her to stop this, and go away. That's Lapis Lazuli. Like, she still resents the three crystal gems, but she kind of has cozied up to Steven a little. So, but the only reason that they ever got around to escaping from Lapis Lazuli was because of Steven. I mean, Lapis Lazuli wasn't even fighting directly. She was using water clones, holding off all three gems, Steven, and the lion, and she was having like no trouble doing that. So, basically, we know that Lapis Lazuli was really fucking strong. And to see her scared about reporting to Yellow Diamond says a lot about what we might face in season 2 at some point. But yeah, knowing that they have to report to Yellow Diamond shows that probably the fact that they have diamonds on their outfits means that it's a sign of allegiance to Yellow Diamond. Does this mean the same for the crystal gems? I don't know, maybe. I mean, in the episode where we get to see Greg meeting Rose for the first time, none of them had, none of the three crystal gems that we have now had stars on their outfits. Amethyst didn't have any symbols, neither did Pearl. Well, Garnet had a lightning bolt, but that doesn't mean anything. It was just a fashion statement. But we do know that Rose did have the star at that point. So, at some point between that Greg meeting Rose episode and modern day, present day episodes where all the gems have the star on some part of their outfit, might be a sign of their allegiance to Rose. Maybe a way to honor her. I don't know. I think it makes sense. But yeah, Peridot is on the loose. We don't know where she is. We just know she's still on Earth because she crashed there. Lapis Lazuli and Jasper fused into malachite. But the Lapis Lazuli side overcame Jasper and forced malachite to the bottom of the ocean, apparently. But crystal gems, well, they don't breathe. They don't need oxygen. They don't need food, and they don't sleep. So, how long will this actually hold off Jasper? Probably not very long. I don't think so. I think at some point we're gonna see the return of Jasper and probably Lapis Lazuli as well. I don't know if Lapis is gonna have to die for that to happen. I don't know. I have this really, really, really bad feeling about this. I feel like Lapis Lazuli is going to be turned into the sort of martyr for the series. I think that at some point she's going to be killed, and she's going to be killed off for good. Like, her gem is going to be destroyed. Also, I have this feeling that Yellow Diamond is going to be the one to kill Lapis Lazuli. I don't know. I'm calling it now. Like, I feel that Lapis Lazuli is gonna come back from the depths of the ocean. She might give the crystal gems another chance. I don't know. I feel that might happen. But as soon as Yellow Diamond gets here and the freaking all-out war between the crystal gems and the homeworld gems begins, Lapis Lazuli is gonna sacrifice herself, probably for Steven. Probably. I don't really think that the lapis lazuli holding back Jasper as malachite at the bottom of the ocean will last very long, because we already know that fusions where the two gems don't really get along or think very differently, they don't last. It's only a matter of time before malachite separates back into Jasper and lapis lazuli. Will Lapis be able to hold Jasper at the bottom of the ocean? Well, maybe. I mean, she does control um, water. I mean, perhaps Lapis Lazuli will actually have to kill Jasper and leave her at the bottom of the ocean to get out. But yeah, that also leaves Peridot as a huge threat. We know that in hand-to-hand combat, she sucks ass. I mean, we don't know. We didn't see what actually happened in that fight between Pearl, Amethyst, and Peridot. But Amethyst by herself, being the weakest out of three crystal gems, seemed to be handling Peridot just fine on her own. She's sort of a tactician, technology guru kind of character. So I wouldn't be surprised to have her come back with some sort of robot army, or maybe like build a communication device to call Yellow Diamond in. So it's only a matter of time. Another thing that really called my attention from the season finale was that we got to appreciate a little bit of Sapphire and Ruby on their own before they fused back together. Um, you notice that Sapphire is really fast. She grabbed Steven's hand and was like at the other end of the spaceship in like half a second. Um, we assume that Ruby is where Garnet gets her strength from. I mean, she does seem to be kind of buff, and she picked up Sapphire pretty easily. I don't know. I'm guessing that's where Garnet gets her power from. The future vision part of it is obviously like a product of having these two minds working in sync all the time. And what's funny about Garnet as a fusion is that she only has two arms. Every other fusion that we've seen has more than two arms, or more than two legs, as we saw with Malachite. That was an exception to what we'd seen till that point. But I think that because the two gems, Ruby and Sapphire, were already like really small, kind of weak gems compared to the rest, maybe their power combined wasn't like enough to manifest extra limbs. Their fusion kind of manifested in that third eye that gives her the future vision, which is really just an assessment of probabilities. Um, Another thing that is a trait that apparently only Garnet has is the ability to produce electricity. We've seen her do this twice. I mean, when Steven shut down the arcade that one time, she used her gloves to power it back on, and when trying to translate Lapis Lazuli's message to Earth, they blew out Greg's car battery, and Garnet powered it back up with her hands. So, where does she get that electrical power from? I think it might be a product of the fusion. Now, this is gonna sound so mushy, so cheesy, but maybe they explain it as being a product of the friction between these two characters that obviously love each other. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of. I don't really see any other reason why Garnet would have that special ability. Now, another thing that I wanna mention is that personally, I think Steven has the potential to be the most powerful crystal gem ever to exist, and to usher in a new era for all gems when the whole conflict with Homeworld ends. Steven has a shield which he can use to protect himself. He can turn it into a bubble, protect himself and or friends. This kind of makes up for the fact that he's not as invulnerable as the other gems. He has Rose's sword, which we haven't seen in action, but I'm guessing is like pretty badass. And Steven has the lion, okay? It shoots shock waves out of its mouth. It's awesome. So, picture this for a moment. Steven, shield in one hand, Rose's sword in another, riding the lion into battle. That is like just the most badass shit. Apart from these powers, um, he has Rose's healing powers. He has future vision, and he can fuse with humans. And I'm guessing it's something um, that's unique to Steven because he's half human. And another thing is that conversely, Steven is invulnerable to that kind of like tasing rod that Jasper used to poof Garnet. And Steven can actually escape the prisons that would hold normal gems, which is a plus for him. Maybe not the most practical ability, but hey, I mean, he's got to use what he's got to use, right? I think that covers everything that I wanted to say. If I remember anything else, I'll record another video and post it on the same channel. Thank you guys for watching so much. I really appreciate it. Always remember to like, and if you want, you can subscribe. I'll be making more of these kind of videos along the way as the show airs, and maybe even like episode reviews. I don't know. Do you guys think that I should? Tell me in the comment section. Seth Blizzard here. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.